Last night I had the most disturbing dream, and I know that it's important that I share it. Um, First of all, I fell asleep watching, what's that show called on Stars? Counterpart. It's about this agent who finds out that there is I guess, a doorway to another world where we have an identical there. And but this dream was so weird. Like, in the dream, I'm sitting on the bed and I'm holding a book, and I open the book, and the words are not words. The words come to life, and I'm seeing, I guess, what I'm reading, and I started to feel this evil, evil feeling, like it was evil. I really can't explain it to you, but it was evil. It was absolutely dark and evil. And I read that the destroyer was coming. Um, like I said, I couldn't shake the feeling of it. It was not like something that we would consider evil here. It was a different feeling, a different type of evil. After I read that the destroyer was coming, I saw flames wipe out everything. Flames, I'm talking about flames burning down and wiping out everything. So I woke up, and it was like I instantly woke up, and I told Rodney about it. And Rodney said, the destroyer is Apollyon. And of course, then it made sense after he said that or whatever. But you guys, that was a dream that I absolutely had to share because of the feeling of evil, and that evil feeling, it felt so, it was different. It wasn't like what we would call evil here, you know?
But now in this valley of humiliation, poor Christian was hard put to it, for he had gone but a little way before he espied a foul fiend coming over the field to meet him. His name is Apollyon. Now the monster was hideous to behold. He was clothed with scales like a fish, and they are his pride. He had wings like a dragon, and feet like a bear, and out of his belly came fire and smoke, and his mouth was as the mouth of a lion. When he was come up to Christian, he beheld him with a disdainful countenance.
I just want to make one statement why I'm wearing this angel cap. It's a code image for people in the secret program. Those of you out there who know its meaning, you know its meaning.
Now, the word Abaddon, it says that in the Greek tongue his name's Apollyon, but in the Hebrew tongue it's Abaddon. Now, the word Abaddon does not appear in our English Bible anywhere else, but the Bible is telling us here that Abaddon is a Hebrew word, right? Well, if you go back to the Hebrew Bible, you'll see the word Abaddon over and over and over again. And basically, Abaddon means destruction. And if you look up in the Old Testament, there are many times that God sends a destroying angel. Like, for example, if you remember, there's an angel that's standing with a drawn sword over Jerusalem. When David sins and numbers the people, then there's an angel that's going to destroy Jerusalem. Or also there's the angel that God sends at the Passover, this death angel that's going to kill the firstborn of all the Egyptians, okay? So this particular angel, Abaddon or Apollyon, is an angel that God uses throughout the Bible to carry out judgments and destruction upon the wicked. And that's what we see here. So don't let anybody fool you into thinking that Abaddon or Apollyon is a wicked angel, or that it's a fallen angel, or that it's Satan. No, this is one of God's angels that carries out His will.
Do you know what kind of creature waits for its own slaughter? Sheep. The Knights of the Iron Legion were once unconquerable. No longer. They now bend the knee to lords and ladies who have forsaken the wisdom of war. The samurai of the Dawn Empire are fearless, disciplined warriors. Yet their emperor dishonors them with his laws and decrees for peace. Most heartbreaking, perhaps, are the Warborn, the Vikings. These ferocious clans have set aside their axes for their feeble family. They're cowards. We must be brave for them.
We cannot hope to trigger war everywhere.
We can, if we recruit our enemies to the cause. We can, if we recruit our enemies to the cause.
and they had as king over them the angel of the bottomless pit, whose name in Hebrew is Abaddon, but in Greek he has the name Apollyon.
What a coincidence. What a coincidence.
Bravo! Bravo!
So Ceausescu told me to land right away. Where, I said, on the military air base nearby? No, he told me, near the road. Then he looked at me and he asked me for the third time, are you serving the cause? So I answered, what cause? Whose cause?
We can, if we recruit our enemies to the cause.
I just want to make one statement why I'm wearing this angel cap. It's a code image for people in the secret program. Those of you out there who know its meaning, you know its meaning.
accept the theory that Napoleon and Hitler were the first two, what might the third and most cunning Antichrist hold in store for us? Could the Antichrist be a real person and not a construct of religion and symbolism?
We are racing irreversibly toward the end of time and through the ultimate prophecies that condemn the earth. It is prophecy, and prophecy will be fulfilled to the letter.
Nostradamus' prophecies suggest the third Antichrist may have powers that far exceed the other two.
Stained with mass murder and adultery, this great enemy of humanity will be worse than any man before him, in steel, fire, water, bloody and monstrous.
So the question becomes, are any real leaders today actual candidates who meet the criteria identified in these prophecies? Critics point out that just about every world leader has been accused of fitting the profile of Antichrist at one time or another, according to who is or is not popular at any given time.
This individual changes with the generations, practically with the decades. In the 1970s, it was common, or at least done, to identify possibly someone like Henry Kissinger.
And the list of unlikely candidates goes on. Still, some cite a mysterious name, Mabus. It appears in another one of Nostradamus' quatrains.
Mabus will soon die, then will come a horrible undoing of people and animals.
Some believe Mabus is the name Nostradamus has assigned to the third Antichrist. Could Mabus be a coded reference? Two presidents have been linked to the name Mabus by extreme adherents of prophecy. The first is the 43rd President of the United States, George W. Bush. Even non-believers of this theory can explain the connection.
You follow the rule of everything in lowercase letters. The GW becomes AM because you can turn them upside down. Swivel them, and you have Ma Bush. Drop the redundant letter, you have Mabus.
Although this seems to implicate George W. Bush as a candidate for the third Antichrist, scholars dismiss that suggestion, especially since his transition out of power is credited as being orderly. But what about President number 44?
More recently, there was a mayor in Georgia who got into trouble for circulating an email asking if Barack Obama was the Antichrist. So the Antichrist is a very fluid concept that can adapt to your needs.
In fact, Nostradamus himself seems to definitively say that no recent U.S. president fits the bill.
The third Antichrist very soon annihilated. 27 years his bloody war will last.
This prophecy suggests a long-lasting worldwide war will follow the third Antichrist's death. Could the third Antichrist have already come and gone? The Bible points to a series of cataclysms that may coincide with the aftermath of the third Antichrist. The book of Revelation states,
"There was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth made of hair, and the whole moon became like blood, and the stars fell from the sky to the earth."
Many say the natural and unnatural disasters that now plague the earth indicate we are at a tipping point. But are we really closer to the end than ever before?
over New York. These pictures, made from a Pathé News plane less than 4 hours before the tragedy, show the world's largest airship heading for Lakehurst, New Jersey. Over Newark's famous auto skyway, the airship was hailed by thousands who little dreamed it was their final glimpse of the Hindenburg. Inside the silver envelope are 16 separate gas bags, each filled with hydrogen, a highly inflammable gas. From the ground, you can see the forward control cabin from which the ship is operated. The windows along the side indicate the location of the passengers' quarters, in which many were carried to a flaming death. Approaching Lakehurst, the Hindenburg appeared a conquering giant of the skies, but she proved a puny plaything in the mighty grip of fate. It almost seemed as if fate had set the stage for the horrible tragedy. A graceful craft sailing serenely to her doom.
The back motors of the ship are just holding it just enough to keep it. It works in the plane, Chief. Wait, get it started. It's crashing terrible. Oh my, get out of the way, please. It's bursting in the flames and it's falling on the morning beds. All the folks between us, this is terrible. This is one of the worst catastrophes in the world. Oh, it's 400 or 500 feet into the sky, and it's a terrific crash, ladies and gentlemen. The smoke and the
I just want to make one statement why I'm wearing this angel cap. It's a code image for people in the secret program. Those of you out there who know its meaning, you know its meaning.